Welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are just going to working about the classes and the object in C++. So the main purpose of C++ programming is to add orientation to C programming language, and the classes are the central feature of C++ that supports object-oriented programming and are often called user-defined types. In C programming language, we have the no concept of objects and the classes, but C++ is the advanced version of C programming language that have the object-oriented programming language, which is the core reusability concept. And a class is used to specify the form of an object and its combined data representations and method for manipulating that data into one neat package. So that data and the functions within the classes are called the members of the class. Let's just see how to declare the class. So when you are defining a class, you define a blueprint of the data type. That does not actually define any data, but it does define what the class name means. That is what an object of the class consists of and what the operations can be performed on such an object. So a class definition is start with the class keyword, and then you see the example of that. So here we just simply write the class name, which is a class, and here just name the give it the name of the class, which is a class car. So as you can see here, the class is defined, means class is a keyword which is defined with class car, and the class body enclosed by a pair of curly braces. A class definition must be followed either by the semicolon, you can see here, or a list of declaration. Okay, now I just check the example of the class right here. So here we have this different concept of private and then public and protected. We just discussed about these three in our next lectures, but here we just you simply make a little concept about that. Private means these data member classes are private, mean integer data and floats. So these data members of the classes are accessed within the class. Public data member data members you can access within the class and outside the class. But the protecteds are the data member class that we use protect in the encapsulations to hide our information, that no information shows to the user, etc. Okay, so here we just simply use private and the public right here. So private, I just write integer data, and here I just write data is 1, or I just write integer model and then float, or here I just write character color. Okay, then the public data member, here I just write function, and then here I just write model, which is equal to, I just write model is 2018, and then afterwards I just write here that float, character, which is the function of that one, means function number 2, and then here I just write color, and the color here is equal to, I just write the color is white. Okay, and then it will return color. Okay, so it will return the character right here. So this is the concept of the class what I just used with the private and the public. Okay, so these data members are accessed within the class, okay, because this is the private data members. So you maybe notice the two keywords here like public and the private. So the private keywords make the data and the function private, and the private data and the functions can be accessed only from inside the same class, what I just told you. And the public keywords make data and the function public, means public data and the functions can be accessed outside of the class. Here we have the class data members of models and the color are the private data members, where a function number 1 and the function number 2 are the public data members. If you try to access private data from outside the class, so similar throw error, means you just use exception handling with that. So this feature is introduced in object-oriented programming language, which is the data hiding concept. Now simply we just turn to the object. So when we just create a class or when we just define the class, so only the specification of the object is defined, means no memory or the storage is allocated yet. To use the access data and the access functions defined in the class, you need to create the object here. So here I just go to the function, means here I just go to the integer main function, and then I just define, like, this is our class name, which is car. So I just simply call my class name right here and then create an object to that. So obj1 and then obj2. So I just call these two objects right here. So in this example, class car, the data member model and the color are the data members, and the functions 1 and the function 2 are the members of the function right here. Okay, so this is a simple concept of the classes and the objects in C++. In next lecture, we are just going to access the data members and the members of the function with the help of C++ programming. So if you find any of the problem regarding to that classes and the objects so far, please let me know, and thanks for watching this lecture.